So I got the opportunity to drive down and see the R2 and R3, and I thought maybe I'd make a quick video about it. Now this is just B-roll that I made. There's no audio to it or none of any importance, but this is just me zooming in and looking at random parts of the car so that I could potentially talk about it, or if I notice anything later that I didn't notice right away. Here's your window that rolls down. I was just kind of checking to see what that was on the seats there, but um, just kind of get a good look at the screen here. Clearly one of my lenses were dirty, and we're seeing that now. That's something I didn't notice. um, R2 looks like a pretty solid vehicle. I mean, it's about Model Y territory. There's your door button, by the way. That's new. Opens the door. But I mean, we're basically Model Y territory, but out of Rivian, and I kind of like it. I do have one of these on order. I have two of these on order, but anyway, I placed the order like at the launch event. Right as soon as the guy says, "I got mine," that's when I pulled my phone out and was like, "Let's order, let's order." So, so I got the order in fairly early during the event. And then after the event, I placed a second order because I wasn't sure, maybe I would want to replace my current Model Y and have two R2s. I don't know. We'll see. Leave the options open. I wasn't sure if that was just a signal or a logo. Pretty sure it was just a signal. Mirrors should have signals on them. Anyway, R2 doesn't have a screen in the rear. That's interesting. The screen actually looks smaller on this one as well than my R1. And just kind of looking at cameras, looks like there's only one camera. And of course, the signature. This is the R2. Just wanted to walk around it, get some pictures and video. I'm not nearly interested in the R2, but, I thought for those who might want to take a closer look at it, I had time. I was, there weren't that many people there. Honestly, I expected way more. There were a lot of people there, and I asked some questions. My questions weren't answered, so yeah. Rivian employees didn't seem to know much about these cars, but they were happy to show them off. They wouldn't open the frunk on the R2, but they said it was similar to the R3, so here's pictures of the R3. And I asked them about a power hatch, and they couldn't answer that. Which later, after this event, and here's the R3X. After this event, I was told that it does actually have a power hatch, just not a power frunk, which is in line with the Model Y, so that's perfectly fine. I like the interior of this R3X, but again, I'm just not interested in a car. I don't like the exterior design of this car. It does have these, like a backpack there on the driver's seat that comes off, and that's what the straps were for. And then there's the Rivian. And, while I was in Atlanta, I had to sightsee a little, found this big building, and I thought that was pretty cool. One of my biggest complaints about Rivian in the past was how the navigation would not let me navigate somewhere when it thinks I'm going to make it with a certain amount. For example, if I had less than 40 miles on the Rival, then it would say I couldn't make it. And it was really annoying. And I'm glad to say they fixed that, because it's now saying I'm going to arrive with 8 miles, and it's not trying to direct me off to another charger. But we are at 7%, and I think that we will be at 2% on arrival in about 9 miles. 2 or 3. We'll see. So I got slow charging here, as you can see, limited by station, and then I picked up a souvenir on my way home, which was great. So needless to say, not happy about that. I have been trying to sell the Rivian. I have had it listed for sale, and I had an amount in mind that I wanted to get for it, and now it's got a broken windshield, so that's going to be a hard sell. Anyway, I had it listed for 85 on Facebook Marketplace. I did have one person interested, but they ended up backing out. So I decided to take it because, I'm going to have to sell it soon anyway. If you haven't followed that story, you probably should. I'm going to have to sell it soon anyway. So I took it to my local Ford dealer, and they told me they couldn't even offer on it. Nope, back up. I took it to the Chrysler dealer, and they said they couldn't even offer on it. Said that it was too new and they didn't know anything about it, so they couldn't even make an offer. I took it to the Ford dealer, and they offered 70, which is about 10 lower than I needed for it. I took it to a Chevrolet dealer, and they said that, the market for them, no one wants electric, so they're not buying electric. They wouldn't even offer on it. And so I was kind of giving up at that point. I knew that I was going to have to go to Charlotte, which was a 2 hour drive, and I didn't want to have to do that. So I went back to the original Chrysler dealer that I bought my Chrysler 300C from, and they came out and offered 79. And I'm like, that's only $1,000 off from what I really wanted for it. So like I can work with that. So we shook on it. We went to go do the paperwork, and while we were doing the paperwork, they rescinded their offer. Apparently, the GM of the dealer told them that they couldn't spend that much, so they lowered their offer to 77, and I walked out because, on principle, you're not gonna lowball me like that. I did end up negotiating with them later, back up to 78, which is kind of a meet in the middle sort of thing. And I did take the 78. So I am waiting on them to call me now to come pick up the check, but it is officially sold, and we can move on with the next step.